What's up guys? Samsung just revealed their newest pride, the Galaxy S10. Along with it came the larger S10 Plus and the smaller budget version, the S10e. We've been lucky enough to get to test these phones right now to give you this hands-on video. First, let's take a look at the design. And the first thing that strikes me is how large the screen is compared to the overall size of the phone, because the size of the phone has not changed since the S9. And there's a reason for that, because there's no notch or bezel to talk about, only a punch hole. Yes, the camera is hidden inside the screen. Now that's pretty cool. And since there's no bezel now, the screen takes up more of the space in the height, which makes for a new aspect ratio. From the old 18.5:9, it's now 19:9, so the screen is longer, a little bit more cinematic. If we turn the phone around, we get to see the color, and we got two variants here, pearl white and black. Size-wise, I said that there's no difference from the S9, but actually they're a little bit thinner. And the display size is 6.1 inch on the S10 and 6.4 inch on the S10 Plus. Looking at the back again, we can see that the fingerprint reader is gone. It must be hidden here somewhere. And we got 3 lenses now. We'll get back to that. Glass is now Gorilla Glass 6, which is an upgrade from the Gorilla Glass 5 we saw on the earlier models. And new on this one is that it comes with a protective film pre-applied when you pick it out of the box. So you got this protective film on top of the Gorilla Glass 6. As its predecessor, it also has the hybrid dual SIM, which means that you can have one SIM card plus another SIM card, or one SIM card plus a micro SD card. It also has stereo Dolby Atmos speakers, and as expected, it's IP68, so it's water resistant. If we check out the display, it's Samsung's Infinity O display, which covers basically the whole front. It looks beautiful. And the technology behind it has also changed. They've now gone from Super AMOLED to Dynamic AMOLED. The advantages about that is that it's 14% brighter than the S9 and it uses less power, and the color accuracy is impressive. A nice thing to know is that the harmful blue light has been reduced by over 40%. But if you turn on the blue light filter, it reduces by around 90%. A big upgrade is the fingerprint reader, which I finally found placed right on the display. And the technology behind it is a world's first, because it uses ultrasonic sound waves instead of optics, as we've seen on some other phones so far. And the ultrasonic works better in high or low temperatures and in bright light. They removed the iris scanner, but the face recognition is still there. But anyways, the fingerprint scanner is by far my favorite. When looking at the battery, all 3 models have increased capacity. In addition to the fact that both the screen and the CPU is now more power efficient, it's also got an intelligent battery that uses kind of an adaptive power saving mode that recognizes your usage and behavior and adapts to it. Altogether, it's supposed to give you a longer battery life, which comes in handy for this next feature, wireless power share. We've seen this in another phone before, but now Samsung's got it as well. Utilizing the QI wireless charging standard, you can charge pretty much any other device from the back of this phone. It's still pretty cool. You can charge your friend's phone, your earphones, or your smartwatch just by putting it on the back of this phone. Just activate wireless power share in the drop-down menu and place your device on the back of this phone. Picture this, you're out traveling and you bring only your phone's charger. Still, you can charge both the phone and your smartwatch at the same time. Or in my case, if your better half forgets her charger, you can charge 2 phones at the same time. Now over to the camera. And on the S9, you had 2 lenses. On the Galaxy S10, you got 3. And why do you want 3 lenses on a phone, you ask? Well, for the same reason you want to change optics on your system camera. Only here, you have them all placed on this one phone. You got the telephoto lens for taking good portraits, and you got the wide lenses for taking scenery or action shots. Actually, the S10 Plus has 5 lenses, 3 on the back and 2 on the front. And the S10, it's got 4. So we have the normal wide lens, the telephoto lens, and the new ultra-wide lens, which has 123 degrees field of view. Compared to the human eye's field of view, which is 120, this phone sees more than you. The normal wide lens still has dual aperture, where you can choose between fixed f1.5 for darker scenes and f2.4 for brighter scenes. It still has dual pixel autofocus from Canon cameras, which means faster autofocus and the ability to set focus anywhere within the frame. The auto mode is now easier than ever to use, and it has two new features: shot suggestion, which helps you get the best composition, and scene optimizer, which now utilizes the built-in AI to pick the right setting for the scene you're capturing, so you won't have to worry about exposure, white balance, etc. Talking about exposure, we also have this new mode called Super Night Shot mode, which will help you take better pictures in low light situations. What it does is that it combines 7 pictures taken over 3 seconds or even longer when using a tripod, and this will give you better color, less noise, and finer detail. Moving over to video, and first of all, I think this is the world's first. This phone now supports 10-bit color, which is great for post-editing because you get more color detail. So the standard wide lens has optical image stabilization, but another cool feature is the super steady, where the ultra-wide lens comes to play. It uses electronic image stabilization, and the AI crops your footage from 123 down to 75 degrees of stabilized video. We've seen the same type of technology in the GoPro Hero 7, and when we tried it, it worked pretty well. We know a lot of you like the super slow motion. I know I do. And also here, they've done some upgrades. You can now shoot longer slow-mo sequences, double to be precise. 0.4 seconds recording time will now give you 14 seconds of playback. Also worth mentioning is the new live focus feature for creating depth in your photos. On the S10 Plus, this feature will also be on the front cameras for sweet selfies. To mention some extra details, both phones have Wi-Fi 6, which is about 20% faster than the previous standard. They both have updated AR emojis, and on the S10 Plus, you got a vaping cooling chamber. A vapor cooling chamber, which is good for better cooling. And as you might have seen in the video, we flashed a couple new products. That's because Samsung launched a new watch and some buds, but we're gonna do that in another video. Overall, the impression of the phone, you know, when I saw the specs on the sheet, I wasn't truly impressed, but after having tested this phone, I'm super impressed. I mean, how can they improve from here? Do you have any thoughts? Please hit us up with a comment. Peace out.